can't believe how many people they executed.
Я вам за это сломаю все коробки. Уродцы. Так. Там, кстати, где-то вот тут. Где-то здесь. Сломаем коробки. Где-то здесь. Кузька. Во, можно открыть? Нет, не можно.
You read
Да.
the notes on the circle road case?
The murdered Magister's aide? Killed with an arrow instead of magic. Hard to get an angle like that.
It is. Where did you take it from?
I don't know the place that well, but there's a tower not far that would get a clean shot. And good cover.
But if you were angry and in a hurry, if the shot were more lucky than planned.
Well, there's that bridge. Wait. Why are you asking me?
Так, а чё? Ну я, допустим, Куда меня?
Sure thing. You bet.
Нифига. Вот так оно работает. О, да ниф. Кайф. О. Окей, сначала я услышала шепот в тумане. Ничего больше. Но потом появился голос и предложение. Не знаю, кто это. После всего, что произошло, я как могла отказаться. Это мое последнее письмо. Так что бывай.
Whispers, offers. Someone made a deal with a demon.
Ты упоминал это заведение, оно разорилось, ничего удивительного. В меню было только сосиски, булки и ореховые пасты. Но булки, пожалуй, были ничего. Надпись на старой рекламной вывеске: мясная лавка Ветта. Сделка демоном, это вам, конечно, не супер прикольно. Ладно, полетели. Еще нам с Морриганом обсудить вопрос надо. Уф.
And now, what's happening to this city? I heard something right there.
Пустите, ребята. Пустите.
Why did Morgan want to meet in Minrathous? Isn't she helping the Veil Jumpers in Arlathan?
Indeed. But today we have a guest, and she needed the anonymity that only a city provides.
Well, look who it is.
Good to see you, Lace.
Rook, you remember how Varric and I served the Inquisition? Well, this is Inquisitor Llewellyn, the woman who led us all.
О май гад. Боже, я сейчас буду пищать как фанатка.
Andaran Artishan.
Anethera. I wish we could be meeting without our gods threatening to blight the world.
A blight that spreads wider with each passing heartbeat.
Morrigan and Harding have told me about what you've accomplished since taking over for Varric. You've put together an impressive team, and you've got the best chance, maybe the only chance, to stop Elganon and Gillenane.
Нифига себе тут определила, понимаешь?
We've been doing what we can, but I'll be honest. Right now, feels like we're in over our heads.
You've already faced setbacks. You'll face more. Your actions will have consequences.
Did you see what happened to the Viper? We know all about consequences.
Such thinking is a trap you can ill afford. The Viper was blighted because of Elganon and Gillenane, but the city of Treviso was saved because of you.
I wasn't ready to become the Inquisitor. I wasn't ready to have to choose between helping Templars or mages, or decide the fate of every Grey Warden in southern Thedas. Eventually, when the choices I made caught up with me, I turned the Inquisition over to the Chantry rather than create even bigger problems. Maybe someday you'll face the same situation. But I'm asking you not to worry about that future until we have one. Right now, we need you to stop the gods.
All right. I'll do my best.
And while you do so, Rook, the Inquisitor will do her best to ensure that the rest of the world remains intact. A daunting prospect, given that most of the South is under siege by Darkspawn.
It's that bad?
If not for the Inquisitor, the South would have collapsed completely. She has not been idle while you assembled your team.
I thought the gods were mostly active up here. It's really that bad in the south?
Elganon and Gillenane have indeed restricted their activities to the north. But the forces they deployed to the south, the strange new Darkspawn, have spread fear and corruption greater than any blight in history.
Darkspawn have cut through the center of Orlais. Valrorio and Halam Shiral are barely holding out. Ferelden would have fallen already, if not for help from Orzammar. With Denerim lost, the Fereldans are holding the line at Redcliffe. The Free Marchers have the worst of it. Acting Viscount Aveline Valen led the evacuation of Kirkwall. She's taking her people and what's left of her army to help Prince Vale keep Starkhaven.
Maker, we didn't know. My ma...
Don't worry. I talked to the Divine and your mother's safe with the Inquisition.
Thank you.
The Inquisition might just be an arm of the Chantry now, but we've still done our part to get people to fight this threat together. Again. The South is my problem, not yours, Rook. You stop the gods, and I'll make sure the rest of Thedas doesn't fall to the blight.
If the south is in such turmoil, why come up here just to talk? And how did you get here so fast?
Did you think you were the only one to unlock the secrets of the Illuvians?
Morrigan helped the Inquisition use the Illuvians to travel.
While I lack the Dreadwolf's Viravus, I may still scurry between the walls of this world to be where I might do the most good. The Inquisitor asked to meet you, and I thought it might help you to meet her.
I have a team, but not much in the way of forces. If there's any military support you can spare?
I'm sorry. Our forces in the south are stretched thin already. And I'm afraid the Grey Warden leadership doesn't think much more highly of me than they do of you.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. She brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette. We've found others like it in the crossroads. Where'd you find yours?
I found it right around the time Solas's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the Veil. To him. Somehow.
Solas is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
I appreciate it. Solas has been helpful while he's trapped in the Fade. But anything that can help me get inside his head will help counter him getting inside mine.
Wisely spoken. Solus rarely lies directly, but he finds ways to weave the truth into a noose you find yourself wearing.
I considered Solus a friend. I'd hoped to convince him to see reason. It's too late for that now. But still, if this can give you some insight, help you understand him, whatever it turns out to be, I hope that it helps.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you. We should take a break. Head back to the lighthouse for a bit.
А, да? Даже так, ветер перемен. А что мы сейчас разгадаем? Во, знаете, как использовать клетку волка в маяке? Может, мы как раз новую комнату там откроем с помощью нее? Блин, это очень интересно. Ну-ка, полетели. Точно скверно.
Rook, just got word. First Warden's calling everyone back to Weishaupt. Everyone except me, seems like. Guess the First Warden didn't like me joining your team.
Calling wardens back from all over Thedas is a big step. Did he give any reason why?
Not exactly, but I've heard rumors of a massive darkspawn horde on the move. Even hearing there's an archdemon with them.
We need to warn the wardens. Let them know what's coming.
Agreed. Rook, if the gods have an archdemon, Warden lore says archdemons only show up during a blight. Doesn't say anything about elven gods. Seems like the rules have changed, and we're going in blind. We need to know what we're up against.
I'll talk to Solus. See if he knows anything about any of this. Make sure the others are ready to move.
Угу. Осада Вестхаупта. Поговорите с Солосом. Послание с поля боя. Что-то там немного всего насыпали. От Инквизитора. Да, от Лавеланки. Рук, хоть обстоятельства нашей встречи были не такими, как мы с тобой хотели бы, меня радует, что нам удалось встретиться. Разумеется, Варик рассказал о тебе, да и Хардинг всегда положительно отзывается, но больше прочих меня убедили слова Морриган. Она всегда умела подмечать тех, кто может изменить мир, даже если они сами того пока не осознают. Именно она предложила организовать нашу встречу. И, как всегда, ее совет оказался бесценным. К сожалению, у меня дурные вести. Последствия ритуала Солоса и побег богов повлиял на юг. Все указывает на то, что дело идет к войне. Коловшиеся фракции аристократов из Орли объединились с Фенаторией, нападают как на королевскую армию своей страны, так и на крепости на границе Ферелдена. Каперы Антама мешают поставкам из Оствика, а в диких землях далеко на юг вновь появляется скверно. У развалин Остагара блуждают полчища порождений. Блин, вообще одна случай другой. Но я не отказываюсь от обещания, что займусь югом. Я делюсь новостями не чтобы просить помощи, а чтобы напомнить, что ты и твои друзья не одиноки. Боги пробуждают в эти самые страшные и злобные силы. Но его жители остаются решительными и непоколебимыми. Расправьтесь с богами на севере, я разберусь с делами на юге. Когда все кончится, мы выпьем за нашу победу. Первая кружка будет за мной. С уважением, Инквизитор. Одержимые в Твинтере. Переписка Лилианы с Дорианом. Почему-то мирские маги кажутся менее подвержены демонической одержимости, чем маги Юга. Начнем с того, что наши маги не обладают такими иммунитетами, и у нас бывают случаи одержимости, как и везде. И все же, похоже, здесь одержимые встречаются реже, но дело вовсе не в таланте, как показывают некоторые. Разница заключается в принятии образования. В Тавиндле радуются детям-магам, их магия считается даром, и их учат, как им пользоваться. Им рассказывают о возможностях, и не только об опасности. Когда я был на юге, я видел, как обращаются с вашими магами. Их окружают храмовниками и стенами, но самое главное — позором. Их учат ненавидеть и бояться того, кем они являются. Им говорят, что каждое заклинание может привести к их одержимости, и поэтому каждый раз, когда они используют магию, их отягощают мысли о том, что они в опасности. Стоит ли удивляться, что магия становится для них именно тем, чем они считают? Погибли. Вообще не стоит. Абсолютно верные слова. Письмо Дориану. От Варику. Посверкунчик, спасибо за книжные рекомендации. Мне не помешает немного отвлечься. Когда Инквизицию расформировали, у Верховной Жрицы остались довольно большая армия, а вот только воевать им было не с кем. Певчие Страхевини, блин, кстати, во время диалога с Инквизитором столько знакомых людей вообще. Все пытаются убедить ее созвать священный поход против Соласа. У Себастьяна всегда было отличное чувство юмора. Разумеется, город-государство вольной марки ненавидят друг друга. Половина из них пытается убедить церковь поддержать их давнюю вражду с другой половиной, так что сейчас все на взводе. Не завидую Верховной Жрице и остаткам Инквизиции, которые пытаются сохранить мир. Передавай ему наилучшие пожелания Мэй, ладно? Еще не скоро смогу вновь отправиться в Минратес, а она одна из немногих, с кем я до сих пор общаюсь. Так мило. Не могу. Так, а чё? Еще что-то? Да вроде нет. Я не вижу новых писем. Ладно, опять что-то добагалось, походу. Поговорите с Соласом. О май. Так, а где ребята? Задание с Харди. Давайте я с ними сначала со всеми поговорю. Потом уже с этим яйцеголовым. Эй, что случилось?
Any luck tracking down your mystery friend?
The Shaperate didn't like me asking about Shaper Valta. Or harassing people with talk of dwarven magic.
Wish we had time to head down there and show them what you can do.
I don't think that would have helped.
But think how satisfying it would be.
Yeah. What's satisfying about being thrown in a Deep Roads prison? Orzammar takes its heritage very seriously.
So, what now?
I was thinking, the voice said look to those closest to the stone. What if she never meant Orzammar?
Eh?
There is another great Tig, the original capital of the dwarves, Kal Shirak. It was lost during the First Blight, and its people survived in isolation for hundreds of years. They re-emerged, some 20 years ago?
And you think they're close to the stone?
Orzammar can't help. What have I got to lose?
Are you sure Orzammar isn't hiding something?
Pressing them for information would be tricky. I could anger someone important. If Kal Shirak doesn't turn out, I can go back to poking at Orzammar. But not before then.
I'm curious about Kal Shirak's isolation.
The dwarves took heavy losses during the First Blight. To stop the Darkspawn from overrunning them, they closed off passages in the Deep Roads. Those that could retreated to Orzammar. Kal Shirak was lost. They abandoned the city and its people, sealed them away with the Darkspawn.
There must have been another way. What they did was monstrous.
Can you imagine being trapped, knowing death was coming?
But they didn't die. The rumors
That the dwarves of Kalsharok had to change to survive? No one's really sure what that means exactly.
When we find them, you can ask. How do we get in touch with these Kalsharok dwarves?
Already working on it. You don't spend 10 years in the Inquisition without making contacts. I should have a meeting set up by the time we're ready to leave.
Выжидающий камень. Хорошо. Глубинные тропы. Еще лучше. Так, тиская масана. О, ты моя дочь.
Hi there, boy.
Так, что у нас тут? О, Ниф с этим здесь. Добренным тут.
I heard you and Lucanus arguing.
Had a difference of opinion.
Is that all? Sounded like you were ready to kill each other.
If spite starts trouble, it might come to that.
A bit early to jump there.
We're talking about a demon.
Ну... Пока что все выглядит так, как будто Луканис контролирует ситуацию.
Tash, those things the Antam are becoming, Reavers, what do you know about them?
Nothing. Normal Qunari don't do crap like that. But I can kinda see it for the Antam.
How?
Antam only care about being bigger and stronger. Of course they'd serve the gods and turn into monsters.
It's going to make clearing them out of Treviso a challenge.
Good thing the crows are there.
Согласна. Так. Белару у себя? Где-то у Эмрика опять тусит. А, он у нее тусит, ну конечно. Спелись, смотрите, все по кучкам.
I took a look at the archive spirit you recovered.
What do you think of it, Professor?
It's a work of art.
Really?
Concatenating so much knowledge into a stable vibration folded into the Fade? Magnificent! Though the tone leaves something to be desired.
I am so sick of hearing the word Anaris.
Ну, понятно. Так, бежим. Так, к Варику бы зайти еще. И потом с Солосом будем базар вести. Эй, дружище.
I wish I could get moving. I hate being stuck in here.
Ну, понятно. Так. О! Ну-ка. Вот оно чё. Господи, спасибо, фрески восстанавливаем.
You cannot do this, Alganan. You swore that we would give up our commands when this horrific war was over.
Our people need our leadership. If you're unwilling, leave.
Our people must rebuild, and we must help unite them.
So, we did not fight for freedom, but to conquer this land and our own.
We fought to win, and now the Evenuris are as gods. I do not answer to Mithal's annoying lapdog.
The people are afraid. They must believe in something.
They need strength.
And wisdom.
They need gods who can protect them.
We are not gods. You will learn that.
Every lapdog hides a wolf inside.
That was strange. They were speaking Elven, but I understood it.
I believe we have experienced a memory in each of our native languages.
Not just any memory. One of the Dreadwolves.
And the mages who declared themselves my gods? Well, mine and Davrin's, and Rook's.
They were supposed to protect people. Instead, they seized power. Assholes.
It was so mundane. Nothing grand or cosmic. No setting fire to the sun, just talking, politics. I wish they were monsters. Something grand and terrible. Seeing them like that, they're no better than Tevinter nobles.
But no worse, either. They were people. And people can let you down.
All right. What else can we take from this memory?
Elgranon was hungry for power. Did anything he could to get it, and to hold on to it.
Then Solus, furious at Elganon's installing himself as a despot, started his rebellion.
There's another moving part in this. Mithal. She was keeping the peace.
Mithal and Solus were close. The Inquisition found a temple to Mithal, and there were wolf statues everywhere.
Then she sides with Elgranon over him. A betrayal.
I think I get where Mithal is coming from.
Really?
You've just finished some big war, everyone is exhausted, and now Elganon won't give up power? If Mithal sided with Solus, would Elganon have backed down?
Not a chance.
It would have led to another war. Mithal tried to keep the peace.
And Solus must see that, but still can't accept that she chose peaceful politics over his ideals.
Perhaps these murals aren't simply memories. They're what Solus wishes to forget.
His regrets. That means they're a way to learn his weak points.
Why are we worried about Solus? He's trapped.
Right. But the Dread Wolf was the god of trickery. He's looking for a way out. Bet on it.
Meanwhile, keep your eyes open in the crossroads. If there's a way to restore the rest of these murals, Solus would have kept it in his hideaway. It'd be nice to get inside his head for a change.
Но... Ой, видите, первое воспоминание волка. Пока что все выглядит так, как будто бы реально... Солос особо и не бог, он... самопровозглашенный бог, он реально был когда-то просто цепным псом Митал. Next, смотрим.
I was not certain you would come.
You were the one who walked away. I never turn my back when my friend needs me.
The Evanurus seek the magic of the Blight.
Impossible. The Blight is safely sealed away forever.
Though I wish I could believe you, I have sensed the breaking of the wards.
I will investigate your claims. If they forget the danger of the Blight, I will endeavor to remind them.
What if, instead, you left the Evanurus and remained with me? Do you not wish for freedom from this struggle?
Be at peace, love. I will stop them.
As you must. The Blight is our mistake.
Did Mithal call Solus love in that memory?
That's what it sounded like.
So they were doing it.
The elven gods were free with their emotions. They felt things deeply. The way they expressed things, well, it feels romantic to us, but that wasn't really how it was. Back then, I mean.
Nah, they were doing it.
Whether they were doing it or not, Solus cared about her. That's what matters.
So the Dread Wolf goes to Mithal. They might be fighting, but they have history.
And he warns her about the other god using the Blight. That's more important than his rebellion. It's like kingdoms coming together when an archdemon rises.
Mithal didn't think it was possible. She said the Blight was sealed away. There's an old legend about it. Davrin, the one with Andrul's armor. Not sure it matters.
We're deep in elven lore already. What's the legend say?
Right. Well, Andrul was the goddess of the hunt. She put on armor, magic armor, made us something called the Void, drove her mad.
I remember this one. The other gods were afraid Andrul would turn on them. She was doing all kinds of horrible things, causing plagues. It does sound like the Blight.
Well, it all ends with Mithal fighting Andrul. After, Mithal turned into a dragon.
She what? Why didn't you start with that?
Anyway, she took Andrul's armor away. Then Andrul's madness left, and peace returned.
Intriguing. So it's possible Andrul stumbled onto the magic of the Blight.
And when Andrul went mad, Mithal took it from her and locked it away.
Until someone started using it again.
Okay. Solus warns Mithal about the other gods using the Blight. It's not just bad, it's something bad he feels responsible for. The Blight was our mistake.
How is the Blight their mistake? Did they find it? Did they make it? What does that mean?
Whatever it was, it convinced Mithal to take him seriously.
So Mithal goes off to investigate what Solus says. Then, what? It's too clean.
Seems plenty messy with them doing it.
But this isn't just a memory. It's something Solus wanted to hide. What's the crime? What did we see here that he feels guilty about?
I think I might know. When the Inquisitor was saving the world from the breach, she met Mithal.
What? Like in a dream?
It was complicated. She helped the Inquisition. There was a magic pond and a dragon.
Nice.
The point is, she also said the other elven gods betrayed her, killed her.
Okay, sorry, point of order. If they killed Mithal, how was she still around to help the Inquisition?
Elven god magic? She'd spent centuries gathering strength and sharing people's bodies, I think.
If it was a truly benign possession, that speaks to her character.
Solus tried to do the right thing by warning Mithal about the other gods using the Blight, but he got her killed.
Well, it's not just that she died.
What do you mean, Tosh?
It's... Ugh. There was stuff he wanted to tell her, but he waited too long, and then she was dead. He never got to make it right. That twists you up.
That's it. There's our crime.
Doesn't really tell us anything we can use, though.
We know more than we did. That's something.
Then I guess we keep our eyes open if we come across more of these memories.
Воспоминания о нашей ошибке. Ну, next, да.
You dare to try to cage us, jealous of our growing power!
You will pay the final price for this betrayal!
We warned you not to use the Blight. For this, and for Mithal, I sentence you to sleep in exile ever after. Your own lives will form the veil that keeps the horror you unleashed at bay.
So he locked the gods away and created a veil between this world and the Fade. I mean, they were terrible, no question. But what he did, it didn't just stop them. It destroyed our culture, our world.
It wasn't just to stop them. It was to stop the Blight. We've seen how bad Elgar'nan and Gillenane are. Imagine all 7 corrupted gods running wild.
So he created the veil just to keep the elven gods locked in their prison?
Yes, to keep them from accessing the Fade. But was the creation of the veil around the world an accident?
You heard him yelling. That's not the sound of a ritual going right.
What do you think, Rook?
I think this memory's one we understand, at least. What he did makes sense. Him regretting it also makes sense.
I had another question, and I'm sorry, maybe this doesn't matter, but Solus trapped the blighted gods in an ancient elven building, right?
That's what it looks like. Maybe a palace? Fancier than what I've seen in Arlethan, at least.
And then, the Magisters were lured into the Fade. They broke in, which let the Blight escape, and turned the Golden City black.
Right, and the Black City hangs in the Fade, a little reminder of their mistakes. What's wrong, Lace?
It's just... the Chant of Light says that the Maker built for them the Golden City, the center of all creation. But if the Golden City was an ancient elven palace, then the Maker didn't build it. The elves did. The Chant of Light is Andraste's visions from the Maker, but it sounds like it's wrong.
You're asking if we just disproved the entire Andrastian faith.
Did we?
The Maker was never my faith, Lace, but I'm sorry this is hard for you.
The Chant of Light has seen many iterations over the centuries. This may simply change our understanding of it.
But this was the one I grew up with. My ma still sings the chant. You know?
The Dalish clans are struggling with the same thing. What do we keep? What do we lose?
The elven gods, the Maker. No matter who you light a candle to, you've got some hard questions to ask yourself right now.
Doctrine is not the truth. It is one of many paths to the truth.
I recognize the sentiment, though not the specific quote. Who said that?
My mother.
Ah. Questions of faith aside, we have some very real gods that still need killing.
Looks like there are 3 more of these murals with the Dreadwolf's old memories. Wonder what else he's hiding.
А вот это уже очень интересно. Я давно думала о том, я даже, по-моему, это озвучивала. То, что Золотой Град это не то, что построил Создатель, оно там уже было. И, возможно, оно причастно к Иванурисам, и это оказалось так.
You have so long observed the world. Why not consider joining it?
But I have no desire to live as humans. I have the Fade. Besides, there's talk of taking on a solid form. I think you underestimate the danger. When you took the glowing stone to build your body, did the earth not shake?
Delirium gives us the strength we had when we were of the Fade. We are the best of physical and spirit. I need your wisdom, Solus. To withstand the louder voices who would go too far like Elganan. I need you.
This is madness. You must know that. I will always follow where you go.
What?
This is astounding. The ancient elves were spirits who voluntarily manifested a physical form.
I'd rather go back to talking about the Blight.
Hey, Lucanus. Could Spite turn into an elf?
No.
Sorry, but... what?
This is... Are all elves spirits somehow? Am I a spirit?
To be clear, this memory only shows that the first elves originated from spirits. You 3 are no more spirits than anyone else conceived naturally.
Conceived naturally? Guess I'll go ask my mother.
The knowledge that an entire people were formed from a mass manifestation could change our entire understanding of magic.
If we let it out, is that the right call? Do you want bigoted humans yelling about how elves are demons?
Davrin's got a point. World's not short on small-minded humans.
If the world learned about this and it led to attacks against elves...
Elves have enough trouble as it is down in Ferelden.
We have to tell someone, though. Strife and Irulan, at least.
If I told Thea and Viago, they'd think I was sampling Viago's poison collection. No one will believe us.
Okay. We keep this to people we trust who have good reason to know. No shouting it from the rooftops.
Agreed. The Morn Watch has a great deal of experience keeping dangerous secrets.
So, beyond the world-shaking stuff, what else did we learn here? Solus himself was a spirit.
What kind do you think he was?
Well, his name is Elven for pride.
Oh, okay.
There's something else. Not about spirits, or not all about them at least. Solus didn't want to become a person with a physical body.
Right. He only agreed after Mithal begged him.
Then that's his regret. He wishes he'd never taken physical form.
Maybe, but not just that. Solus was scared. They built their bodies out of lyrium, and it made the ground shake.
Lyrium is the blood of the Titans.
The Titans would have felt it as an attack. They defended themselves.
The first memory we saw, with Elganon seizing power, it happened at the end of a war.
A war between the Titans and the elves.
Lace, I'm so sorry.
It feels like we still don't have the full picture. But I think that's part of what Solus regrets. He didn't see the danger.
Except he did. He was worried. You said it yourself.
He did it for Mithal. Everything that followed, he could have prevented, if he just told her no.
Then he's got a war on his conscience. Plus, whatever we find next.
Вот это, конечно, прикол. Не, я, кстати, думаю о том, что, возможно, не эльфы первые произошли от духов, а наоборот. Типа от первых эльфов потом... Хотя... Ну, вообще это звучит логично, учитывая, что реально Солос это с эльфийского переводится как гордость. Митал, скорее всего, мудрость там и прочее, прочее. Так, у нас 2 фрески осталось же, да? Ну, давайте смотреть, что там.
Have you created what we need?
With this, the proper ritual will sunder every titan from its spirit. But you must know those severed dreams will certainly be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger. It is awful what we're doing.
And the only way to end this war.
Solus made the weapon that killed the Titans. No, not killed. He cut away their dreams and left them broken and mindless. He passed me in the halls of Skyhold for a year. He made polite conversation, and he knew. He knew what he did.
Lace, what my people did to yours, that's unforgivable.
You don't need to apologize.
Well, someone should.
Our leaders attacked the Titans for their lyrium. Then, when the war turned against the elves, our leaders did this.
And when the war was over, they enslaved your ancestors. No. Solus, Mithal, and Elgarnon are the ones who need to apologize.
To do such a thing. No wonder regret eats away at Solus.
No, it's worse than that. That isn't what Solus regrets. Those severed dreams will be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger.
Mierda.
You can't. That's not possible.
When a warden hears the calling, it's like a song in their mind. Sound familiar to you, Lace?
The song of Lyrium. Of the Titans.
We think of the Blight as this monstrous force with no mercy, no compassion. Evil incarnate. Instead, it's a caged animal. Mistreated and imprisoned for centuries. Until all it knows is fear.
In all my talks with him, Solus hates the Blight more than anything. Even more than Elganon. But it wasn't hatred. It was guilt. He knew this could happen, and he still didn't stand up to Mithal and stop it.
Each of these memories has been a deeper regret, and almost all of them involve Mithal.
Only one mural left to uncover by my count. If we find it, we'll see what's worse than this.
То есть я все это время, вот пока мы смотрели эти фрески, реально крутила в голове мысль о том, что Солас, Митал создали скверну. И это так оно и, господи, я читаю эту игру, это просто... Но на самом деле это просто пиздец. Это реально. И, ладно, давайте, у меня есть одна мысль, я ее озвучу, думаю, после последней фрески, там-то все станет яснее ясного.
I knew that you would find me soon enough. You need the power of a god, the strength that I alone still carry.
The blighted Evanuris will soon break free from their prison. I must make a stronger one that can contain them.
While the prison is important, it is not the only goal you seek.
Why should I not tear down the veil and bring back immortality to all the elven people? They deserve it.
The elven people of today do not deserve to see the world they love be torn apart to salve your conscience.
I must fix what I have broken. I am sorry.
As am I, old friend.
Solus killed Mithal? After all that? Is this another memory from a different time?
No. He wore that same outfit in the Inquisition. We knew Solus woke up in this world without most of his power. Now we know how he got it back.
By killing the only other god around and stealing her power.
All that epic magic and godly power. In the end, it comes down to love and murder. Same as always.
Every big mistake Solus made is tied to Mithal. He sacrificed his life as a spirit to join her.
He sacrificed his morals when he created the dagger to stop the Titans.
When the other gods struck her down, he destroyed the Elven Empire to avenge her.
Then he wakes up in this world, where everything's gone but his mistakes. And there she is, alive.
And after all he's done, she sides against him again.
All these mistakes are his fault. And hers too. If she won't help him fix the world, of course he has to kill her.
So, how does everything we know help us now?
He's being honest about fighting the Blight. Whatever happens, he won't risk letting it back out into the world.
Agreed. But he has a plan to escape that prison, and not one we'll like.
He turned on Mithal, the one person he was actually loyal to. There's no way he won't turn on us.
He's a spirit, or was once. He might be able to possess someone, affect minds, all the things spirits do.
He created the veil. His very nature is tied to it. That will be a source of strength, but also a potential weakness.
Mithal has him all messed up. Anything about her or Elgarnon is gonna make him angry. Sloppy.
Solus thinks he knows what's best for everyone. Anything he does, he'll do while telling himself he's the hero.
The bad news is that the god of lies and trickery is almost definitely preparing to betray us. The good news is that we've gone through his dirty laundry.
So, we know his motivations. You think we can set a trap of our own?
That's the hope.
You have witnessed the Protector's tale, Dweller, almost to its end.
Almost? How can there be more?
When the mighty fall, their echoes cross the ages. An audience is warranted. Speak with your visitor. She awaits you in the crossroads.
Что, простите? Какая... Кто кого? Чего, блин? Ага, с Морриган. Я, кстати, хочу пробежать с ребятами поговорить. Сначала. Там что-то этот вулканец с них зависает. Угу.
How has been Rathos since the dragon attack?
After the dragon attack, after demons swarmed the streets, after the palace shot at everyone, we're having a ball.
Ah, sorry.
What for? You didn't attack the city. The shadow dragons are dealing with it. At least, we're trying to. I just worry about Asher. He rests as much as we do.
Угу. Понял. Вопросов не имею. Так, какая у меня мысль возникла в голове по поводу Митал? До вот этого момента я думала, что она самая адекватная. Короче, из Иванурисов она единственная, кто пыталась хоть как-то сохранить мир там и прочее. Ну, типа, чтобы эта вселенная в небытие не канула. Но, судя по всему, в ней, походу, тоже эти задатки жажды власти и прочего. Потому что ей было буквально похеру на то, что, ну, как сказать-то, они уничтожают титанов. Алло?
Hey.
Здрасте.
Davrin, we gotta talk about Solas's magic memory thing.
What? Why?
Why didn't you tell me you were a spirit?
Because I'm not.
I thought we were friends.
I'm not a spirit, Tosh.
Is that because people might think you're a demon? Because I'm from Ravane. We're okay with spirits.
But apparently not with listening. I am not a spirit.
Hey, you don't have to be ashamed of who you are.
Never said I was, but thank you, Tosh.
Так, Милана такая смешная, просто я не могу. Вот. И, ну, очевидно, Солас из-за любви к ней, и преданности, и верности, ну, просто не хотел видеть того, что...
Our enemies are gods, Rook. Nobody fights those alone. That's why Solus lost and why you'll win.
Mm-hmm.
He always thought his attachments were a tragic flaw he had to overcome. But they're a strength.
Так а не поэтому ли он думает, потому что его уже так, к кому он был привязан, ну, типа, по факту предала. Я так понимаю, что он реально был когда-то просто вот духом гордости. Она его, типа, позвала. Он вот это вот перевоплотился в эльфа, получается. И вот он ее на побегушках постоянно бегал. Ну, реально, проблема в том, что он просто в нужный момент, ну, он не мог остановиться, потому что он был ей слишком предан.
Elves came from spirits.
An incredible revelation of what happened thousands of years ago.
I asked Davern what he thought, and he just shrugged.
Это ему потому что пофиг.
He would.
Это в его стиле. Вот. И типа он делал ошибку за ошибкой, не останавливаясь. При этом он понимал, что он делал, но он не мог типа этому противиться, потому что, ну, это Митал. Типа я должен. Как будто бы он ей чем-то обязан настолько, что, ну, не может ей... Как это? Перечить, я не знаю. Но то, что они делали, это вообще не прикол. Так получается, реально, они создали скверну на пару, держась за ручку, так сказать. И потом уже поняли, что они натворили, такие: о нет, ну скверно, типа, Иванурис такие: о, сила всех сил, надо ее задействовать, потому что им вообще было абсолютно похрену, откуда черпать силу. У них настолько кукуха поехала на жажде власти, они реально, решили, что они могут стать богами. И потом, заметьте, это циклично, потому что те же самые твинтерские магистры по своей силе преисполнились и тоже решили, что они могут стать богами, но это все, опять же таки, с руки Иванурисов произошло. Они их по факту заманили в тень, те увидели Золотой Град, зашли, осквернились, скверной, все, осквернили, получается, город, он стал, черный город, вот, выползли обратно и притащили, получается, скверну в мир наш, вот, все вернулось, откуда и получилось, собственно. Но это, конечно, балдеж. Но получается, что реально Ивануриса успели убить Митал, но мы знаем, что она, часть своей силы, часть своей души оставила, которая потом во Флемет переродилась, соединилась с ней. Это мы уже все знаем, историю Флемет и как, Митал в ней стала жить. И как она потом через дочерей перерождалась, потому что у Флемет-то смертное тело. И как бы там эта божественная сила не поддерживала ее жизнь, силы-то не настолько много, чтобы бесконечно держать жизнь, поэтому приходилось какое-то время обновлять костюмчик человеческий, так сказать. Да я к чему? К тому, что Митал не такая белая пушистая ангелочка, каким, казалось мне. Она тоже немножко мразотная в своей сущности. Возможно, то, что она, мудрость вот это все, мать всех матерей и вообще, вот, но чуть-чуть этот червячок гнилой где-то там у нее окопался в голове, вот, и понятно, откуда у Соласа вот эта вот манера прикрываться какими-то великими делами, но при этом совершая какую-то хуйню, честно сказать. Вот, потому что она такая: Солас, ты понимаешь, мы должны уничтожить титанов, свести их с ума, создать скверну, потому что нам надо вот это, что они там хотели отделить, так сказать, душу от титанов, вот, чтобы могли спокойно лириум пользоваться. Поэтому-то, собственно, титаны и исчезли, потому что их всех просто по факту истребили, и породив этим скверну. Вот. А лириум — это просто как их кровь, осталась в земле этими кристаллами, и потом ее добывали. Она, очевидно, лириум не бесконечный. Вот. Только если где-то там сидят какие-то заныканные титаны, которые сливают свою кровищу в камень, и он там чилит. Вот, так что, да, Митал тоже... Короче, все они, суки, одинаковые. Кто-то больше шизоидный, кто-то меньше. Посмотрим, что нам лысый друг скажет.
How fares your battle?
The gods are moving against Weishaupt and the Grey Wardens. We've heard rumors the Darkspawn are being led by an archdemon.
And you have questions?
I need to know how archdemons relate to the gods. Are they just like the blighted dragons, or are they something else? I also need to know how to deal with the gods if they show up at Weishaupt.
I propose a bargain. I will answer your question if you answer mine.
What?
How are the Grey Wardens? Do they understand the truth of the danger yet?
We've been through this already. You agreed to help me.
What did you think my help would look like, Rook? I need to know that you are prepared.
No. The First Warden still refuses to listen.
As I feared.
I tried diplomacy, I tried being firm. Nothing worked.
When I asked you why you should be trusted to lead the fight, you said you were no stranger to fighting stronger opponents. That sufficed for me. But the Grey Wardens fight Darkspawn and Archdemons, foes no one else can stand against. They see themselves as the best prepared for this battle. You cannot defeat Elganan and Gillenane without the Wardens. What will you do to bring them to your side?
All I can really do is keep trying to get through to them.
Have you ever ridden home in a wagon and felt the streets go from paved to dirt beneath the wheels? The horse is slow, and everything grows quiet as you're near home. What do you call that feeling?
I don't really have a word for it.
No, you do not. Elganan destroyed that emotion. He burned it from the mind of every living being. There were spirits of that feeling, just as there are spirits of joy, or fear, or despair. I begged them to fight.
What happened to them?
They waited too long. Without the emotion in this world to focus on, they faded until nothing remained. When you grow quiet, it is a part of your soul reaching for a feeling and finding emptiness. Because I failed.
I understand. I'm not going to fail.
How? What will you do?
I don't have to convince all of them. I just have to convince the First Warden.
Or remove him.
Enjoyable as that is to imagine, I doubt the rest of the Wardens would approve.
Did you know the Evanurus once numbered many more than those whose names survive in the Elven Pantheon? One warlord was particularly cruel. I sought to free his slaves, but so fearsome was his reputation that none would join me.
What did you do?
I made people laugh at him.
How did that help?
For 12 years. Every sound near him, from whispered pleas to shouted oaths to crackling fire, all became mocking laughter. His mind broke under the ridicule, and when he fell, his slaves rose up and joined me.
I doubt laughter is going to work on the First Warden.
If not that, then what?
Whatever it takes.
Easily said, but it will have to be enough for now. You have answered my question, and I owe you an answer in return.
Yes, the old gods of Tevinter, the archdemons.
There never were Tevinter gods. The archdemons, as you call them, were always merely the weapons of the Evanurus.
All right. Let's hope we can find the gods before they find their weapons.
Unfortunately, the Dragon Thrall's life force is bound to the Evanurus as both power and protection. You will not be able to kill or likely even harm one of the Evanurus until their Dragon Thrall is slain.
What can you tell me about the archdemons themselves?
Each is different, shaped by the whims and ego of its master. Elganan is the Lord of Tyranny. He would have ruled alone had Mithal not forced him to share power. Those who are strong, he molds into dictators themselves, with visions of godhood. Those who are weak, he crushes. His archdemon reflects him. It is huge, to feed his ego, the epitome of dragonkind, bent to his will.
What about Gillenane and her dragon? Pride and ego can blind someone. We can exploit that.
By contrast, Gillenane was a servant of Andrul, whose skill at making monsters earned her promotion to the Evanurus. She is brilliant, ambitious, and unconstrained by anything you would understand as morality. In a kinder world, you would never need to see what she has done to her archdemon. In this world, I only hope you kill it quickly. In any event, the Evanurus will not be vulnerable until their archdemons are dead.
The old stories of the Tevinter gods have them whispering in the dreams of ancient magisters. How did they do that, if they were just tools of the elven gods?
The archdemons were once high dragons, the Evanuris bound them as a source of power. When I imprisoned the gods, their dragons remained free. That was my mistake.
How so?
I never bound a dragon to myself, for I believed that to enslave another creature was immoral. As such, I did not understand the power that connection gave. I thought the prison I had made was perfect. But their dragons were the conduit through which they spoke to dreaming minds.
Any other surprises we should know about?
Even with their dragons dead, the Evanuris are powerful and well protected. You will need to use my dagger, the one you recovered. It can pierce their enchantments and strike them down.
All right. Kill the archdemons, then use the dagger to take down the gods.
Even a single opportunity to strike the Evanuris down will be rare, fleeting, and costly. You will not have another chance to catch them unawares. When you strike, you must be fully prepared.
Это, конечно, просто вот с каждой новой крупицей сюжета просто каноны игры рушатся на глазах. Боже, что вы делаете? Так, что у нас, ребята, где? У себя все, да? Но никто не выдает задания, поэтому я хочу быстренько на... О! Вестхаупт. Интересно. Хочу вернуться и поговорить с Морриган на перекрестке.
Every time we walk into the crossroads, I'm afraid I'll fall up instead of down.
Да ладно тебе, нормально все. Так, море ждет здесь. Похоже, что да. А, вот она. О, нам туда? Ну, давай.
How did you get here?
I did tell you I had my ways through Alluvians when I introduced you to the Inquisitor, did I not?
The Alluvians in general, yes, but not the Dreadwolf's crossroads.
I would think you have more pressing questions at the moment. Questions about Solus and Mithal?
Mithal?
The two gods have always been linked, have they not? First, when Mithal bade her companion spirit to abandon the Fade and take on mortal form. Then, when Solus spilled Mithal's mortal blood, that he might absorb her power as his own.
Shut up.
Wait. How do you know exactly what we saw of Solus's past?
Think upon it, Rook. You saw for yourself in the Dreadwolf's memories. When Mithal stood against the gods' manipulations of the Blight, she was betrayed and struck down. Yet she survived and returned ages later to aid the Inquisition in its hour of need. How?
So, if Mithal was originally a spirit, maybe that's how she survived her body's death.
Very good. Mithal was a spirit turned elven. And when her body was struck down, to spirit, she returned. Her essence sheltered in a willing mortal vessel. Over the centuries, she journeyed from host to host, slowly amassing her former power anew. Until once again, she was struck down, on this occasion, by Solus. He absorbed her power, but not her memories.
Then where did they... Wait. You?
As you say.
You're Mithal? That's why the ambient magic around you is so fractured.
Such a flattering picture you paint of this ancient bond.
What? That was like how Elganon and Gillenane can talk in your head, but...
'Twas Mithal you heard, her echoes. Yet I am not the goddess returned.
What are you, then?
I once feared Mithal would consume me were I to carry her, but 'twas not so. I remained free-willed and mortal. What I now possess is but a spark of Mithal, shadowed memories through which to sift for meaning. As to our admixture, I suspect you have questions.
Еще одна.
So, there's the soul of an elven god inside you. How does that even happen?
Mithal's last host was my mother, Flemeth.
Oh.
When I learned she intended me to become the next receptacle of an ancient god's soul, I feared naught would be left of my own. It inevitably came to pass on a deep night. I was awakened by the presence of a blaze of magic in the shape of a woman who both was and was not my mother.
This isn't the strangest thing I've heard, but it's close.
'Tis difficult to describe, even now. Mithal's memories were both gift and burden, this blazing woman told me, but I must accept them of my own accord. The decision was paralyzing. What would it mean to become such a host? What would be lost if I refused? In the end, 'twas something in my mother's voice which guided me.
What was that?
Regret. Not the regret of a god, but of a mother who knew she would never see me again. And so, my mind remains my own. What I gained was knowledge, both Mithal's and of those who bore her.
How can you carry Mithal's soul if you're not an elf?
Her spark has sheltered within both elves and humans who were sympathetic to her in thought and circumstance. Mithal's last host was a woman wronged, trapped by those sworn to love her. We may readily imagine their kinship.
The fall of our civilization, the wars, everything elves went through. Where was Mithal for us then?
After the god's betrayal, she was a shadow of her former self, bereft of her power, slowly regaining her strength over the centuries. So she aided the elves as she could, speaking in dreams and offering counsel that ended blights and prevented wars.
At least now we know. You would have met Solus in the Inquisition, right?
I did indeed. 'Twas before I possessed Mithal's memories. At the time, I thought Solus a scowling elven apostate whose sole passion was finding arguments. He heard me, in all my ignorance, expound on the histories of the elven people, explaining legends he had witnessed himself.
Bet he loved that.
'Tis not a memory that brings me pride.
Do you have information we can use against Gillenane or Elganon? Or Solus?
The last time Mithal faced Elganon and Gillenane, she was struck down by the very dagger you now carry.
What about Solus?
You may recall he murdered Mithal's former host to claim her godly might as his own. I hoard no untapped magical secrets, Rook. What I do possess, I share freely with you and the Veil Jumpers.
All right. You didn't come out here just to tell me you're Mithal.
I am not Mithal in her entirety, but yes, the Dreadwolf has occasion to visit you in dreams, where he portions out advice. And now, after finding his memories, you have peered into his deepest sorrows. Tell me then, what do you make of Solus?
I should ask you. Mithal knew Solus better than anyone.
I would influence your answer. Or do you mean to discover if I would stand directly against the Dread Wolf, were there a need?
Would you?
I shall aid you in any way, but that, even had I the power. What has passed between Solus and Mithal, I beg you, Do not ask this of me again.
Solus talks a lot about what has to be done, being forced to make hard choices, but it's like he's trying to talk himself into it. I think, deep down, he doesn't entirely believe what he's saying.
'Tis exactly like the old wolf to tie himself into the most intricate knots. 'Tis not malice which made Solus your opponent, but conviction, a belief that only he may halt what he set in motion. Yet Solus was once beloved of Mithal. 'Tis his very loyalty and love for his people that led to the tragedy we now face. You may be in a position to determine how it ends, more so than either of you might realize.
If that's what it takes.
Such determination. Have you not even a tremor of doubt?
Wouldn't do me any good.
If you would shape the outcome of your battle, I've one last secret to share. When Mithal was struck down by the other gods, it was with her own lyrium dagger, the dagger you now carry. Solus recovered it from Elganon, and from it extracted a fragment of Mithal that had lain hidden within its depths. This fragment, a younger sister to the one I carry, if you will, resides here, in the crossroads. I can open the way for you. Find her, survive the encounter, and the essence you obtain will aid you in times to come.
Another fragment of Mithal? In addition to the one inside you?
You are aware of what the word fragment means, are you not? One small piece of many, formed when something greater is broken. The first elves were spirits, as you well know, and when a spirit is broken, it may shatter into pieces, each holding part of the original. Among the ancient elves who became known as gods, Durthaman and his brother, Falondine, are but one example.
You make it sound like this piece of Mithal is going to attack me.
You know Solus, and have seen Elganon, and memories of Mithal. They are creatures of emotion, as all spirits are. The fragment of Mithal that resides in me lived among mortals for thousands of years. She has grown wiser and more patient. This younger sister has not. She is the essence of Mithal as a god. She is unlikely to listen to polite requests, and though she is but a fragment of the goddess, the battle will test you sorely.
If she's just going to attack us, why tell us about her at all? We have enough enemies already.
A fragment of a god's essence is a powerful thing. It may give you options against Elganon and Ghilanane, or against the Dread Wolf himself, should he prove as cunning and treacherous as ever.
What kind of spirit was Mithal before she became an elf? I know Solus is elven for pride.
Mithal enjoyed ruling and having power, but it came not from the overweening desire to crush resistance, as is the case with Elganon. The emotion that inspired her might best be described as benevolence, a guiding hand, inclined to kindness. But like any spirit, when angered or twisted against her purpose, a more violent aspect arose. Where the Dreadwolf's wisdom gave way to pride when the world did not meet his standards, Mithal's benevolence gave way to retribution. After all, when kindness fails, the guilty must be punished.
You would know this aspect of Mithal better than anyone. Could you try talking to her?
I dare say she would attack me on sight.
Spirits can't get along with fragments of each other.
Spirits, certainly. But the aspects of a self-righteous god who have walked different paths for ages? One bears the insult of her betrayal by the Evanurus, and then by Solus, as fresh wounds, insult upon injury. The other once fell in love with an Alamari chieftain and lived happily in a swamp for centuries. Each reminds the other that another path existed, that they could have been wrong, and nothing angers Mithal like being wrong.
If I were to try to talk with her, do you have any suggestions?
She will demand respect, but detest flattery. She appreciates righteous anger, but will not tolerate pity. She is, for want of better phrasing, prickly. But if you are determined to try, then I wish you luck.
Thank you for the information, Morrigan.
There is one more thing, if I may. Something whispered not by myself, but Mithal. The elves have learned many of the glories and horrors of ancient Elvenon. Yet your people live in this world now as the old elves never could. Know it as they could not. There is your strength. 'Tis why you shall surpass what came before one day.
Did Mithal see this? Is it a prediction?
A hope from a mother to her distant children, no less beloved than any before them.
Блядь, мне страшно что-то писос как. И есть у меня некое предположение, что сейчас мы эту битву не вывезем. Абсолютно. Но я хочу посмотреть хотя бы, что там. Ой. Ну, поехали.
A god's fragment, sharper than the whole, prevail, or be sundered completely.
Спасибо, друг, подбодрил. Гнездо древних. Ёлка.
We're getting close to where Morrigan said that other fragment of Mithal was.
Ага. Какой-то колизей. Последняя снова предателя. На камне неподалеку видны отметины огромных когтей на земле. Кто-то дрожащей рукой вырезал сломанным зубом послание. Они обвинили меня в предательстве Фен'Харела и свергли с высот. Я отрицал свою вину тогда, как отрицаю ее и сейчас, волоча раздробленные конечности по земле, но меня никто не слышит. Поэтому я даю себя казни, которая никогда больше всего радовала наших богов. Да, чистит огонь меня Найля. Лусакан и Разикаль. Вот, кстати, это имена этих архидемонов, получается. Лусакан и Разикаль, Гарнан и Геланайн. Древние боги ночи и таинства. В таком только я могла вляпаться, аж мурашки по коже. Древние боги связаны с нашими самыми тяжкими грехами, или, если спросить в Винаторе, они всегда были правы. Легенды гласят, что они проникали в разумы людей и им шептали из своей подземной тюрьмы, что это дурной сон, или это Разикаль ведет тебя по запутанным коридорам, или, может, Лусакан, грешное дитя, лучше набить свою подушку солнечными семенами из узкой дороги за полцены. Солнце наступает драконьей ночи. Но ведь Ильгарнан, эльфийский бог солнца, этот подонок получает в свое распоряжение весь день. Вспомнить суеверие. Вряд ли букетик цветов спасет нас, но, возможно, толкнет на какую-нибудь мысль или отвлечет огоньки, пока не появятся зацепки получше. Угу. Ответ Геланайн Соласу. Я всегда уважала твой интеллект, твои изыскания в пределах магии, но ты заблуждаешься и считаешь, что меня интересуют титулы. Подобно тебе, я не из перворожденных. Ванорисы даруют мне магию, которая иначе была бы мне недоступна. А мои сны уже полнятся новыми воплощениями, новыми формулами крови. Это не ради Андруил. Андруил просила за меня. Она поддерживает меня всегда и во всем. Ты говоришь, что мне нужно створить существ для защиты нашего народа. Я уже даровала ему гал. Я створила их в годы своей юности, неопытная, наивная, и не знала, на что способна плоть, повинуясь приказу. Передай нашему народу, чтобы они берегли этих животных. Теперь я не могу их создавать. Угу. Интересно. Так получается, эта подруга-то, как и Солас, она не первоначальный этот эльф.
That has to be her.
Will this be a conversation with words or knives?
Я не
Guess
знаю.
we'll find out.
Я боюсь представить. Вон там будем драться, да?
You are Rook. I have seen you and your companions. I never again expected to see my children in the Dread Wolf's crossroads. And you know who I am.
Mithal.
The part of me that survived betrayal by the rest of the Evanuris, if this can be called surviving. Solus. He drew me from the dagger that struck me down, but what is left of me can only survive here. I cannot return to the world, and even the true Fade is denied me. All I can do is watch. Have you come to seek the blessing of your god? Or did you come to ask your god to sacrifice herself to help you defeat the monsters Elganan and Gillenane have become?
I came here to ask for your help. The gods have endangered the world, and...
You dare explain to me what they are doing? You are 1,000 years from knowing the proper words.
We saw Solas's memories, his regrets.
You saw the recollection he cultivated like a tree, twisting to catch the sun. You wish for my help? Convince me. Make your case, and I will yield my essence willingly to help you against Elganan and Gillenane. Fail, and I shall kill you for wasting my time, or you will kill me and obtain my essence in doing so. A harder-edged, simpler version. It has been centuries since a petitioner stood before me, so why should I help you?
If I don't stop the gods, the whole world will be corrupted by the Blight.
That is why you must succeed, so tell me why I must help you.
We know the truth about the Blight. We know it came from the imprisoned dreams of the Titans after you and Solus defeated them.
And?
Интересно, если я ее сейчас обвиню в том, что скверно появилась из-за нее, она меня убьет нахрен?
And the Blight only happened because of what you did. You need to fix your mistake.
My mistake? I saved lives and ended a war, you petulant child. Your words are weak. Prove your worth or die.
Я думаю, мы сейчас быстро сдохнем. Ё-моё. Метальский дракон. Поехали, красотка какая. Готовы, ребята?
Everyone get ready.
Right. Of course, she's a big dragon.
Ой, моя.
Better be ready.
Попробую просто ее поколупать чуть-чуть, но... Я как бы не особо стараюсь вообще. Ну вот, я даже не хочу вставать, потому что хочу попробовать ее уговорить. Мне не нравится сражаться с ней.
You are Rook. I have seen you and your
Так,
companion.
чё, поехали пытаться
never again
уговорить
expect-
женщину нам помочь?
And the Solus. Have you come, or did you?
I came here to ask for your help. The gods have endangered the world, and
You dare explain to me what they are doing? You are 1,000 years from knowing the proper words.
we saw Solas's memories, his regrets.
You saw the recollection he cultivated like a tree, twisting to catch the sun. You wish for my help? Convince me. Make your case, and I will yield my essence willingly to help you against Elganan and Gillenane. Fail, and I shall kill you for wasting my time, or you will kill me and obtain my essence in doing so. A harder-edged, simpler version. It has been centuries since a petitioner stood before me, so why should I help you?
If I don't stop the gods, the whole world will be corrupted by the Blight.
That is why you must succeed, so tell me why I must help you.
We know the truth about the Blight. We know it came from the imprisoned dreams of the Titans after you and Solas defeated them.
And?
Stopping the Blight mattered enough for you to talk with Solas, even after he rebelled against you. It mattered enough for you to stand against the other gods.
And I was struck down for doing so, betrayed by those I had ruled beside for centuries.
You made the difficult choice to protect your home, because it was the right thing to do. Help me do the same.
Not bad, but not enough. Let us speak of something else.
You can't want Elganan and Gillenane to rule the world. Not after what they did to you.
I ruled alongside them for centuries. I bear them no love now, and they were ever flawed, as all rulers are. Yet they were better than the others who threatened your ancestors. Monsters like the Titans, or selfish fools like Anaris. Set the Blight aside, and tell me why I should help you topple your own gods.
What they did to you was wrong.
And you care so deeply for the injustice done to me thousands of years ago.
You deserve justice. And they deserve to be punished for misusing their power and killing you when you tried to check them.
If you wish to prove your worth, you must do better than that.
I am worthy of your help.
That is for me to judge.
I am fighting to protect this world.
Any petty tyrant can fight those who come to their land and claim to be protecting their people. What is a protector to you?
It's making a place that's safe for everyone. That means defending against danger, but it also means building a strong community that works together for the common good.
And what have you built?
Look at my team. We're not just hired blades. We started as strangers and grew together into a family.
Your arguments are compelling. I find you worthy, Rook. I have spent thousands of years watching. I shall miss that. But if what I am can protect the innocent and smite the guilty, this is what remains of me. I give it to you freely. Use it to protect this world with kindness when possible and cunning when necessary.
I will. Thank you.
I offer one further boon. I cannot enter the physical world or the pure Fade, but in this place, I still carry some power. Evil has intruded here. The Blight, seeded by Elganan and Gillenane. Find it, and when you meet your greatest challenge, I will fly one last time.
The essence of the protector. Like a piece of the sun. I've never felt something so alive.
I don't want to ruin the moment, but what do we do with it?
God knows her moment. At least her essence does. When the time comes, we'll be ready.
Клинок мага. Ясный ум, открытое сердце. Так, частица Митал сочла команду достойной ее силы и добровольно отдала свою сущность. Теперь эта сила в руках команды, она будет ждать, когда они найдут способ остановить ее с помощью Гарнангела Найна или другого бога, который может представлять угрозу.
We did it.
Ой.
We got Mithal's essence.
And we didn't even have to fight her for it.
Not sure what we do with it just yet, but if Morrigan's telling the truth, it'll come in handy at some point.
Угу. Может, она говорила последняя фраза про... Ой. Какую-то дичь скверную. Это вот то, что я пыталась побороть. Типа вот эти вот 3 челика, 2 из которых мы победили. А нет, одного. Одного еще надо, и 3-го найдем потом где-то. И, собственно, там что-то мега страшное мы встретим. Эта игра меня пугает все больше и больше. Там я не знаю, что должно быть. Но я думаю, мы обосремся с вами. Что там у нас? Бледное отражение ров галы сквозь завесу декор. Так, ну-ка смотрим. Так, у меня сейчас надет Свестерхейвена, да? А здесь что? Можно попробовать, кстати. О май гад. Она урона не дает, но дает... А ночью, когда солнце отправилось спать, Митал собрала вокруг его ложа сияющую землю, спил из нее шар и подвесил его в небо. Ой. Как ты выглядишь? Уф. Щущ. Это хорошо. Это очень хорошо. Да и смешные ручки. Убежище для Митала. Солас всегда думал, что Митал все же присоединилась к нам. Ой, Филосан. Что она лучше других аванурисов. Он создал это место, чтобы она комфортно себя чувствовала после вступления в ряды повстанцев. Но теперь слишком поздно. Солас запечатал это место от горя. Он отказался спускать меня туда. Мне жаль, друг мой, она все же нашла, что у тебя отобрать. Да. Да-да. Так, ну, собственно, возвращаемся на маяк. Побегаем там со всеми, поговорим. И будем думать, что делать дальше. Я, наверное, сначала поделаю квесты Хардин. Потом уже полетим по сюжету. Ну, впрочем, как всегда.